Hi guys, John the Firearms Instructor, and I am glad you're here. Welcome back to our channel. We are so excited about our subscribers. We're getting more and more every day, and we appreciate you being here. Well, we're going to go back to the brace rule. Brace rule is not a law, it's a rule, and it's being issued by the ATF. If you don't know much about it, we've done multiple videos on it, but to simplify it pretty easy, if you own an AR-15, whether it be a 9mm or 45, and it has a pistol configuration with a brace, after the rule comes into effect, you get 120 days to do a Form 1 and make it an SBR. They have redefined the definition of a rifle to add a brace and the implements that you add to it that makes you have to shoulder it to shoot it. And they've added that into the definition of a rifle. Now, it's being challenged in the court systems on a regular basis, but I don't know if you know about this 88-day rule. I watched a couple videos on it, a couple of attorneys that have pushed it through, and I think they have a point. If you want to build an SBR, you're going to have all the components at home, and you're actually not going to assemble it until you get your tax stamp. And that legally puts you in a position where you really don't have an SBR until you assemble it all together. But if you are going to do what they ask you to do and register your pistol you bought, and they made a decision now that that pistol is a short barrel rifle, you're admitting to owning a short barrel rifle without a tax stamp. And the ATF, I don't think they thought this all the way through. I don't think they care about it really. They've given you 4 options, and 2 of them make no sense at all. One of the options is to remove the brace and get rid of it and throw it away or destroy it, that it can't be used ever again. Number 2, they offer you an amnesty to fill out a Form 1, send a picture of the weapon, send your address, your phone number, your location, and tell them that you own a short barrel rifle that you didn't put a tax stamp on because you didn't have to, because it wasn't a short barrel rifle, but now they deem it a short barrel rifle. Number 3 is turn it into the ATF, or number 4, destroy the weapon. And those are the options they give you. So where's the 88 thing come in? I listened to a video from a guy who was at SHOT Show. Oh, by the way, the ATF put this ruling out on Friday the 13th, the day before the SHOT Show. What SHOT Show is the show where all the gun manufacturers get together in Las Vegas. And I'm sure the ATF booth was full of questions, and they probably sent them people who can't answer them. But here's the go, right? They want you to admit that you own a short barrel rifle and send in your paperwork, your picture, and all that stuff like that. And at the end of it, let's say you did all that, and now you are in the process of getting your tax stamp. And for some reason or another, it's taking time for your background check to be approved. Now, we all know, if you ever done a suppressor or done a short barrel rifle before, they're 7 to 8 months behind already. Now you're going to take 40,000 of us and turn into Form 1s for the rest of us. You don't think that's going to build a big backlog of background checks? By the way, the FBI no longer does the ATF background checks. The ATF has to do them themselves. They're understaffed as it is, guys. Now they've got 40 million background checks to go. Do you think all of those are going to be done easy and simple? So the idea of a background check sitting in a guy's desk at the ATF, and it gets past 88 days, it's an instant denial. That means you are in process, you get denied, and all of a sudden now, What's the ATF to do? You've already told them you own a short barrel rifle. You already gave them all the information. You already told them what the picture looks like of the gun. They can enforce the law at that point in time. You know what that is? That's 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Now, the guy at the SHOT Show had enough hueves, right, to go to the ATF and ask them. And I'm going to show you this video down here. I think it's important that you see it. We're going to have it in our description down below because it's from the GOA, Gun Owners of America, and they got our back, and they're chasing the ATF, and they're chasing all these gun laws, and that's why you should be a member of the GOA. It's $50. It's worth its weight in gold. I'll put a link down there for the GOA as well. I'm not sponsored by them or anything else like that, but we need to get to our congressmen or representatives and scream and holler about this law being unconstitutional to a point. Because, guys, if you have done everything right, that's what they're wanting. They're wanting a law-abiding citizen, which none of us want to be criminals, to register these guns. Well, I live in Florida. There is no gun registration. But if you want to follow the rules and regulations and be a law-abiding citizen, not a criminal, and you do this ATF background check and you do the Form 1 and everything, and you get denied or you don't get processed in the 88 days, you don't get an approval on your background check in 88 days, well, at that point in time, you're denied. He went and asked him, what can we do if we don't get through our background check? And someone at the ATF told him, we could start a legal process on you. Now, do I think they're building this big pile of people to build a trap? I know the video said it's a trap, but just doesn't seem like they're thinking much, guys. And I want you to be very careful and understand what I'm giving you. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a guy who owns a gun store and I'm a firearms trainer. And this affects me just as much as it affects you. And I want to do the right thing, but I'm not exactly sure what the right thing is to do. Because at the end of it, if you don't pass your background check, and most people are going to pass their background check. I'm not talking about 88 days to get your stamp in the mail. That's not going to happen. But there is a background check prior to them doing everything else. And if you go on their website, they're already talking that most Form 1s are 4 to 6 months. Which is bullshit, because bullcrap, because most of the time they take a lot more than that. So at the end of it, what do you do? Again, the most simplest thing is to remove the brace. And make sure you have a buffer tube on that thing that has a little foam piece on there. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but that's what I'm going to do to my short barrel rifles. I mean, my short barrel pistols. I'm going to put a buffer tube and a foam little pad on there. They always came with that because most of your pistol AR with the buffer tube with the pad when it first came out was just to be cheeked anyways. And if you really put a buffer tube on your shoulder, you have to dip your head to get to it where you can bring it up in more of your line of sight. That's what I'm going to do. But is that legal? Is that going to work? I don't know. But you need to make sure you understand the rules and follow them as best you can. Do I think it's a trap? 100%. Do I think it's unconstitutional? 100%. Do I think it's going to be challenged in the court system for many, many years? Absolutely. Do they think you're going to comply just because you have to or you want to because you don't want to be facing criminal charges if it happens and you get caught with it? Yes, they just think most people are going to get in line and step in and just do it. And at that point in time, that's just another list of laws and regulations that we're going to have to follow. And on top of that, when you have a short barrel rifle, there are some requirements you must have. You can't travel out of state without getting permission with that short barrel rifle. If you don't have the rifle in a trust, if you passed away, no one else can use it in the home. If your wife or your kid or your son grabbed that rifle in a defensive situation and shot somebody with it, it's a federal charge at that point in time because it's a federal tax stamp. So there's a lot of stuff involved in having an SBR. It's not as simple as just filling out a piece of paper like they make it, guys. I hope it gave you some information. Watch this video. It is from an attorney. He was at SHOT Show. He did talk to them, and this is what they said. It came from the horse's mouth. I'm not making it up. I'm just trying to dumb it down enough where I can understand it and hopefully help you understand it. Until next time, God bless, be safe, and remember, you are your first line of defense. Guys, if you're digging what we're doing, and you are, we really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, and the bell icon, and every time we upload something, you'll know. You'll be the first to know. We'll see you guys.